Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. Jacob of Paradox Multimedia here, and welcome back to another Paradox Music Critique, the long-awaited return of Jack the Hack to the series, by which I mean he's been waiting a while, and maybe some of you have. I have no idea what to expect with this next one. We're going to be checking out the dark side of the internet. I just want to point out two things. One, I've apparently been dropping the from the dark side of the internet. I've called it dark side of the internet for multiple videos, and it's the dark side of the internet. So I apologize. I forgot the what the heck is it called? The intrinsic article. I'm probably using the wrong adjective for that. Also, I've been saying that this is a part of the Amy Bell trilogy. That is not true. Not true. I have no idea why I thought it was. Jack actually pointed out himself, and I did not have a good response. I still do not remember why I thought it was. I think it was just because he kept... Well, it wasn't like he was really badgering me or anything. He made a post adding me, like, petition to get Paradox Multimedia to check out the whole Amy Bell trilogy or whatever, which I do plan to do at some point, but not today. Today we are checking out the dark side of the internet. Real quick, as usual, I got merch, I got a Patreon, I got a Twitch channel, and a Twitch VOD channel on YouTube. Discord, kind of dead, but you know, maybe it could be something if more of you join. Subscribe, ring the bell, leave a like, YouTube stuff. Let's get into this. All right, we're gonna get into this. Okay. Already, like, trying to sound, like, trippy, I guess. Okay, I kind of like this bass. It's a little slow starting up, though. We can get something of a melody going. I know this is the same song, but it feels like it just kind of had a weird intro bit, and then it just, like, became this. It just stopped, and then we got this fading in, which is fine. I think it's a little awkward, the way it's just kind of juxtaposed, but... And it's a little odd there. I do like the echo there, or like the kind of like channel panning effect. Yep, like that. I did kind of expect it to just kind of like have a short reverse and then just like go right into something heavy. I've been listening to hip hop a little bit more. There's the drums a bit later than expected. I would have pushed that bass there that came in a little further to the back, because it just kind of feels like it's forcing itself into the mix right now. You lose a little bit of the lower end ambience you kind of had going on there. Okay, it's still going. was gonna say, if he had something kind of like that, but maybe like something stronger, maybe like some... Okay, not what I was thinking. There's a weird build up to that, but okay. I was gonna say, if he had some like kind of like orchestral string shots, or like ring, ring, something like that, you know? It's probably not lining up with the music very well, but you get what I'm going with. It's not bad. I am having like ideas of my own of what might have been good to add to it, because it feels like it's going for a mysterious and dark kind of vibe, which, this being the title track, The Dark Side of the Internet, makes sense. But I feel like it's not leaning into that as well as it could. I mean, maybe that's just like not what he wanted to do. Maybe he had something else he was going for with the style of this. It's not a bad track. I just feel like there's some things that I would do differently, some things that maybe he could have done differently. Like, this doesn't feel very dark side of the internet. It doesn't even feel very internet. It feels too soft and a little bit too ambient, really. Like, the harsher sound of the drums was, even here, it's all right, but like, I wish there was like some glitch to it. Ghost Hack has some really good glitch percussion sounds. Something more distorted, something darker sounding, I feel like would have made this work better, in my opinion. It's not a terrible song by any means, but it just feels a little underwhelming for what the title implied it would be. Maybe that's just expectations being set too high, but... Okay, the drums came back in a little suddenly there. Like, it's on beat here, but I feel like where it came back in, like, it was a little too sudden. I'm not sure if that pluck is new or if that's been there a little bit. I'll say this one definitely feels less experimental than Amy Bell did. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like there's a little bit lost there for me, where Amy Bell felt, I guess, a little more expressive. Personally, I don't know. Not the worst start to one of these. Definitely not a bad start to an album. I would just say, like, what I expected didn't really line up with reality. So I will give this one a... So here's the hard part about doing this as like a semi-live reaction thing, is I have to come up with the score on the spot, whereas before with a voiceover, I could think it over and then come up with a score. I would give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Play the game, huh? See, something more like this I was expecting for the title track. Also, for the visuals, I expected more than just like this static glitch image and whatever that is on the side. Is that a visualizer of some kind, or is that just like a regular effect? So this feels like something that could have some kind of lyrics to it to really, like, enhance it, I guess. Even if it was just, like, some auto-tuned, like, Sam vocals. I was kind of vibing with it, but nope. I'm not a fan of that. You had something good going, and then you go and pull this. Maybe if that was more of a bass and had like a kind of synthesizer, like saxophone or something on it, or like maybe not trombone. Saxophone comes to mind because there's actually a couple of good Serum presets that are like a synthesized saxophone kind of thing. This is where it gets a little dissonant. Yeah, it's just too dissonant for me. It kind of worked before, still a little underwhelming compared to the idea the name of the album implied. That riser just kind of didn't seem to have a reason to be there. But okay, maybe if it like kind of faded in more as everything faded out, but it just kind of came in. Yeah, that was something. I will say that is indeed music in some capacity. Definitely don't think it was as good as the first one. I did like the switch over to something more distorted. I did kind of like the main melody sort of thing that you had going, though I feel like that would have been better even if it was just like a MIDI guitar distorted, which maybe that was what you did, and it just doesn't sound like it to me. But yeah, that second half where it just kind of went into that second bit there, just very suddenly, really took me out of the song. And when you brought both of them together, it was a lot of conflicting frequencies for me. I didn't think it worked as well as it could have. Again, like if you had transitioned that a little differently, maybe had more to that was a little funky there. I think some bass would have been a better way to go with that than whatever that synth was. That's just me. I'm going to give Play the Game a 5. I think it's not as good as it could have been. Definitely could have been higher if it weren't for that like second half. Like you had something going and then, I mean, you do you, man, but that doesn't jive with me. So let's move on to the next one. In the Sky. Is this like a weird toy piano kind of thing? Or is it supposed to be like a xylophone kind of thing, maybe? I want to say music box, but it's definitely not music box. This is definitely more of a toy piano kind of sound. Man, the amount of time it takes for him to actually bring in the beat on music is... And again, this isn't, like, super recent stuff, I know, but, like... okay. Completely different vibe. Definitely would have had some, like, kind of hip-hop trap-like, hi-hats earlier on for that part. The string bit there? Nope. I said strings might have worked in the dark side of the internet, but this here, this violin, it's just too dissonant. It really just kind of cuts through and ruins it. And here we're just getting into a mess of sound. I like that fill. It's hard to hear, though, over everything else. So, Into the Sky. I'm glad it was short. I'll say that. You had a very weird intro. A very sudden, like, middle there. That was okay. And then you just kind of put it all together. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. If anybody else likes this, okay. I question your standards. But, yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. This one's going to be a 3 for me out of 10. I don't think it was... It's hard to say anything good about Into the Sky. Or In the Sky, sorry. I can see it right there, and I still said it wrong. In the Sky, yeah. I think it's bad. That's just me, man. Let's get on to the next track. Electra Arcade. Wait, did that say Arcode? Electra Arcade. So you swapped the letters there, which seems really weird because you just took the middle vowel of arcade and the last vowel of electro and swapped them. I guess Electra Arcado maybe didn't sound right to you, but it would have made more sense, in my opinion. But let's go back. Let's start this over again. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we went from weirdly sounding like Mr. Kite to like experimental indie EP to whatever this currently is in the span of like 20 seconds. I like this more electronic tone. It definitely fits the whole internet theme, but I don't think it works with the weird drone you've got going on. And the drums just seem too loud. It feels a little too minimal, in my opinion. And I know minimalist music is like, or minimal music, whatever, is like a thing. Which, if that's what you're going for here, I don't think you quite got it. Like, the melodies here are pretty much the only enjoyable part of this. That suddenly just got a little bit louder. I think if it played more to this kind of like lighter, upbeat kind of sound here, it would have done better. honestly, I feel like this might have worked better for a song like I feel like this would be better titled Play the Game than Play the Game. I don't know, it's weird. It's got a static feel to it, but it's diminished by like the rest of it. Like, I would have done something different for like the drone. The drums, I would have tried for something more fitting, something more bit crushed. Yeah, I would give this one probably a 5, I would say. It had some enjoyable parts, namely just like the higher pitched stuff. The drums, too loud in my opinion, don't really fit with how clean they sound, in my opinion, which, I mean, I guess clean would be a relative term here. Like, I don't think it fits with the bit crushed synth. And again, that drone, I just kind of feel like didn't really work here. Especially where it just kind of repeated. It didn't really change and evolve with the song, at least as far as I could hear. But yeah, that was a 5 for me. Okay. Interesting start for the sound of nothing. Not the beat I was expecting. I feel like this break here is too long. This is very boring. This has gone on as it is for too long, in my opinion. It's still going. You started out with intrigue, and then you just have this, which is nothing. It's nothing compared to the original, to the intro. Those first seconds, you made me think maybe this will be something that, like, has that same kind of energy and, like, feel of Amy Bell. And I get this is the different album. You're probably going for a completely different feel here. But, like, I feel like this could use some of that. Like, it feels like there's a lack of a sort of expression here, especially where, like, you started out, it was a little bit funky feeling. It was intriguing. It made me want to keep listening and see how it changed. And then you brought in the beat, it was like, okay, I don't think that really works, but all right, we'll see where this goes before I poo-poo on it. And then you cut to that, and then you bring the same drums back in, and then you just loop that for like the remainder of the song. What was that all about, man? Jeez. Like, where Into the Sky I felt like was too much towards the end, here it was too little. I'm going to call this one a 3, because it disappointed me. Okay, this is something. Weird to cut out the drums there, but okay. Come on, set something up. Come on, a melody, a pad, something. If I had this come up on Spotify, you would have lost me long before this point. And I don't like this bass as much. It sounds like when your game freezes. Or even more close to home, like when your DAW freezes. What was that riser for? This is very confusing. Very science level, like, sounding. It reminds me of the lab levels in Frogger 2 a little bit. Is that distorted guitar I hear? Or something adjacent to it? Wow. That was short-lived. Also, usually a build-up doesn't start at, like, full velocity. See, I mentioned before I might grimace in pain because of my elbow. I'm just grimacing in pain of how, like, bad this is. That was completely pointless. That did nothing. That did nothing to further the feel of the song. It wasn't a good transition. It was too long. Oh my gosh. There's so much in this track that just, like, is either there. The good parts are there too short for too little time. And then you've got stuff that's there for way too long that does not need to be there. Deutsch Tastatur, or however you pronounce that, it's not good in my opinion. I'm not German, but I can give you a little Spanish. No bueno. I'm going to give that one a 3 as well. I'm not very impressed by it. There were some good things in it, but I definitely feel like they are very much outweighed by the parts I don't like. It's just not really what I was hoping for this album, and we're already 6 tracks through. We've got 3 left. Let's see if we can bring this home. Once again, sort of a strong feeling start, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so that gives it a little bit of a haunting vibe to it, but I feel like it's somewhat out of place here with, like, all the low end. Maybe if it was brought down an octave. Or there was maybe more of a balance. There's always something that definitely doesn't belong. And I thought it was the weird synth strings or whatever he's got going on, but it's this. What? No, seriously, what? What happened? It's a completely different sounding song now. Like, I'll admit, I've been known to take parts of my song and make them sound somewhat different from the rest of the song, but this is just, like, totally different. Kind of in the way the dark side of the internet just kind of, like, moved on to something different. And why? You completely lose the piano in this, and it just sounds like a mess in the background. How is it that he starts these tracks off so well, and it just kind of descends in quality? Okay, so gain a level or lose trying. It sounds like he lost the plot partway through and just decided to start making an entirely different song. Yeah, this one also I don't think is too good. The beginning was good. You've had quite a few songs in this where they start really good and I like them, and then they just kind of like get past like the 20-30 second mark and it's just like I don't want to doubt the effort you put into these, but it sounds like you put your efforts into the wrong things. Here it sounds like you tried to make your songs sound different, but put too much towards that and just didn't have, like, you either had too much consistency where it just repeats and repeats and repeats, or not enough consistency where it just changes and changes and changes. And I've still got 2 more songs to go through. So, gain a level or lose trying, I'm going to give it a 4. Just because I'm hoping that, I don't know, I don't want it to be a low-ranked song because I did really like the beginning. But after that, it's just all down. Just like, it's not even like a proper decline. It's just... Anyways, we got 2 tracks left. Let's see how they go. Electric rock. See, here it would have been really cool if you could have, like, panned that. That would have been a really cool effect. Little portal sounding there. So you could do decent sounding electric guitar and didn't. Also, if you had let that just kind of like fade out, maybe just done a little like... Just kind of like scraping down the strings a little bit. It's not as bad as the last couple. It's still a bit of a mess. But it hasn't... Right as I was about to say it. It hasn't devolved into a mess yet. Now that I'm hearing it by itself, it sounds a little froggy. Oh, it's still this song? I thought it might have been a I thought we were already on the last song. That's how much that took me out of it. I didn't realize this was still electric rock. Okay, I'll admit the guitar sounds really good here. And this sort of weird solo thing. You know what? That actually sounds pretty good there. Not gonna lie. Oh, now it's ending. Okay, still devolved into a mess at one point. It kind of brought it back with that kind of solo but not solo bit there. This one I'm gonna give a 4.5. If you had leaned more into the actual rock aspect a bit, like, you could have kept the synth and whatever, but like leaned more into kind of like a hard rock kind of style with it. Maybe even like a well, not new metal, but like, you know, kind of a mix of like the distorted guitar and like some synths there. I do like that you, at least for part of it, elected to have like more realistic rock sounding drums, but I feel like because you didn't lean into it as much as you could have, I feel like that really makes it not work for me as well as it could have. So I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 10, I believe I said. So final track, let's do it. Let's end it, hopefully on a high note, whether figuratively or literally. Let's go. Huh. You know, turn the drums down a little bit. Add a bit more bass. This wouldn't be terrible. It's kind of lost the haunting vibe now. Kind of just feels like you're in a point-and-click game touring like a techno mansion. But not like a high-tech one, not really a steampunk, low-tech kind of one. Or I guess alternate tech. Just kind of feels like you're walking around a white mansion that's all bleepy bloopy. Okay, so that was something. Kicking it old school. Well, I guess it definitely sounded like it. That one, I guess I'll give it a 5. It wasn't terrible. It at least didn't, like, end up being everything playing at once. So I guess I gotta give it props for that. For an album that came out... Oh, wow, really? Only a year ago? A year and a few months? Hang on, just checking something. And it came out before Amy Bell. Interesting. You know, maybe that explains it. Maybe that's why it didn't have the same kind of energy, I guess. Aside from it probably not being the vibe he was going for. Probably before he had that kind of expressiveness to his music. I don't know. I can't speak to whether or not that's true, but that's how it seems to me. So, yeah, this was an interesting one. I expect expected more from it, mainly just from the title of it being The Dark Side of the Internet. I thought he was going to do some really interesting stuff to try and demonstrate that idea. I don't think so, but I mean, that's just my opinion. What do you think of it? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if there's any other artists or their release, their music, whatever, single, EP, album, double-sided LP, I don't know, I don't care. Let me know and I'll check it out. I've yet to turn down a suggestion yet. So, I've got more coming down the pipeline, but I'm not sure when the next one is going to be yet, because this was kind of the last one after I did a poll to ask people what they wanted to see and just kind of base the order off of that. I've got my list right here where currently I've got, I think 6, 7. I don't have 2 of them written down, maybe 8. I've had 3, but I'm gonna get to everything on the list eventually and actually like have a more efficient way of getting the list put together. But yeah, that's coming. More music coming. What it will be, we will see. I've got a new track out now called New Dream. Suggest other stuff. Tell me what you think of this. Check out the playlist with all the other public videos. I've got a video up explaining why one of them isn't available anymore. You can check that out, I guess, if you want. Also, if you aren't aware of the circumstances. But I'm just going to warn you, it's not good. What else? Normal stuff, like I said at the top of the video. Subscribe, like, comment. Check out my stuff. I'm on Spotify and other platforms for my music. I have a Twitter. I have a Twitch. I have merch and a Patreon. I've got a Discord server. And I've got probably other stuff I'm not thinking of at the moment. But that's just how it is, I guess. That's pretty much it. I hope you have a great day night whenever you're seeing this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.